Hi, I'm Liz Hines, and I'd like to welcome you to the launch of my new novel, Danger with Lashings of Caviar. It's the first in what I hope will be Tabitha's Table mystery series. If you've read any of my previous books, you'll find this is a slight departure in that it's got baddies and guns in it, but I hope you'll still find places in there where you can enjoy a chuckle. I'm sorry, I've got a cold, so you have to excuse me if I stop to get a drink of water halfway through. I'm going to read a couple of short extracts. The first one is from the beginning of the book, so it'll give you an idea of what's going on. And then I'll tell you more about the second one when it comes. Danger with Lashings of Caviar. This is getting plain silly. When you wake up and find yourself gagged and bound in a sack, and from the smell in a rubbish skip at that, and your first thought isn't, what happened? But, oh no, not again. It's time to take a long, hard look at your life. And that's what I'm going to do, just as soon as I get out of here. In books, gorgeous crime-fighting females regularly find themselves in these positions. But I'm not a crime fighter, nor am I gorgeous. Pretty maybe on a good day, but I make sandwiches for a living. So where did it all go wrong? I shake my head to help me think, but it hurts so much I whimper pathetically instead. It's not like this in films. You never see Bruce Willis begging for paracetamol. I groan, or I would, but my mouth is taped, so it comes out as more of a small grunt. And to think that 3 months ago I thought my day was exciting if I had an order for a hummus and red pepper bitter wrap. But that was before I met Jack Billington. My name is Tabitha Fielding, although most people call me Tabby. I'm 28 years old, I live with my mother, and I make sandwiches for a living. So far, so normal. Okay, a single woman living with her mother might not be your idea of normal, but it works for me. At least it does on a good day. On other, that is most days, I resolve to get my own place before she drives me scatty. But just as I'm scanning through the accommodation to rent in the local newspaper, my mother calls to say EastEnders is on, and did I want a chocolate biscuit with my tea, and that's that. But where was I? Oh yes, Jack Billington. So Jack Billington is a local millionaire, probably billionaire. He and his young, glamorous wife live in a huge mansion on the outskirts of town. And they're holding a party, and Tabitha's Table, Tabby, is hired to do the catering for it. She finds Jack strangely attractive and is intrigued by the whole setup. She has to make a couple of preliminary visits to the house to arrange them, decide the menu, and to check the arrangements, things in the kitchen, stuff like that. And it's on her way home from one of these visits that the next extract comes from. I felt uncomfortable after my visit to the Billingtons, and whenever I feel like that, there's only one remedy: chocolate. I stopped in town on my way home, parked the car in a side street, and made my way to the newsagent's, only to find it had closed down. I groaned. Its location between the unit and home had made it my favourite stopping place on days when only chocolate would ease the stress. Now I'd have to walk an extra few hundred yards to the nearest mini-mart. As I walked, I became aware of a dull engine noise. I glanced around. A car was creeping along behind me. I speeded up. The car continued to follow me. I stopped again, and this time the driver edged forward so that he was on the level with me. I scowled at him and hurried on. I was shocked. I wasn't in the red light district. Did I really look like a prostitute? The car caught up with me again. The driver leaned over, waved a piece of paper at me, and then mouthed something. I gave him the finger, and, after instinctively glancing around to check for anyone who might report my finger back to my mum, began to run. The street for once was empty. There was no one I could call to for help. The car suddenly shot past me and screeched to a halt. The driver leapt out and ran around to the pavement. I was about to scream when he shouted, "Stop, police!" and brandished the card in my face. I looked at it, then I grabbed his wrist and forced his hand down. "Since when did library membership entitle you to shout police and try and pick up innocent women on the street?" I challenged him. "What?" He looked at the card he'd waved at me. "Oh, no." He flicked through the small wallet. "It's here somewhere, I know it is. Ah, here it is." And this time he waved the wallet in my face. I took it off him and examined the card carefully. Sergeant Ben Roberts. "Why is it a bit card? On the telly, policemen have proper badges." "I lost mine," he sighed deeply, "and I have to use this for the time being. But honestly, Miss Fielding, I am a policeman." "How do you know my name?" "I've been watching you." "You've been watching me? Oh, that's great. A stalker with false police ID. I think you and I should take a walk to the nearest police station," I said, with more courage than I felt. He was weedy, but he was tall, and if it came to it, I didn't know if I'd be able to fight him off. "It's not false, honestly. I really am a policeman." He crumpled as he spoke. "Why do these things always happen to me?" He gave such a huge sigh that I felt sorry for him. "Okay," I said, "if you are a policeman, why are you following me?" "Because I'm hoping you might be able to help me." "With your inquiries?" He sighed again. "Yes." "What on earth could I help you with?" "It's complicated." As he spoke, the first drops of the rain that had been threatening all day began to fall. "Shall we get in the car to talk?" "What? So you can get me in there and then kidnap me?" I scoffed. "I don't think so." "No, I just don't have a coat." The rain was getting heavier, and my jacket wasn't exactly waterproof either, but pneumonia still seemed preferable over abduction. "No," I said defiantly. "Anything you have to say to me, you can say here." He pulled his collar up. "It's about Jack Billington." "What about him?" The rain was getting heavier. "Oh, come on, please, can we get in the car? I'm getting soaked. Look, I'll sit in the passenger seat and you can sit in the driver's seat. I'll even give you the keys, please." The damp was seeping through my jacket and I was starting to shiver, so I said, "Okay." But then I had a thought. "What if you've got a gun and as soon as I get in you'll turn it on me?" "Police in this country don't carry guns." "You haven't proved you're a policeman yet." "Then why are you getting in the car with me?" "Good point. Okay." I walked around to the driver's door, but he got there first. "What are you doing? I thought you were getting in the passenger seat." "I am, but the passenger door's broken and won't open." He climbed in and slid across the gear stick. I cringed watching him. I sat in the driver's seat and closed the door. My nose began to twitch. "Ugh, what's that awful smell?" "Oh, sorry, we had takeaway curry last night." "We?" "Me and Babe." He indicated behind him. And glancing back, I saw with his head sticking over the top of the back seat the biggest, dopiest-looking German shepherd I'd ever seen. "He's a police dog?" I asked disbelievingly. "Yes, no, he's a she. She's a failed police dog." "A failed police dog? How can she be a failed police dog?" "She was trained as a drug sniffer dog, but they sacked her because she kept eating the evidence." I turned around again and stared, and the dog smiled at me. "She just smiled at me." He shrugged. "She's a friendly dog. She still smells. Open your window, will you? Let some fresh air in." "I can't." "Why not?" "The window's broken too. You can open yours if you want." "No, I'll get wet if I open mine. I'll put up with the smell. So what do you want to ask me?" "Like I said, I've been following you." "Yes, why exactly? Are you even allowed to do that? Don't you need permission from the Home Secretary or Prime Minister or someone?" "You're thinking of telephone bugging." "So you can follow anyone you like?" "Pretty much." "Well, that's not good enough. I shall write to my MP or the Chief Constable." Oh, don't do that. Why not? He looked embarrassed and squirmed in his seat. Strictly speaking, this isn't official. What? I'm sort of doing this, following you, unofficially. So you are a stalker? I just got in a car with a stalker. No, honestly, I'm not. It's just that... He sighed heavily again. I've got a little sister. I put my hand on the car door handle. I might just have got into a car with a lunatic. He noticed and said, please let me tell you the whole story. So Ben does tell her the whole story, and when she hears it, she agrees to help him try and find out what he wants to find out, which will become clearer if you read the story. I hope you enjoyed those extracts, and I hope they'll make you want to read some more. If you do, I'd love to hear what you think of them. I think of it, rather. And I should say, it's available on Amazon as a paperback or in ebook format. So I really hope you'll buy it. And thank you for listening. If you have been, thank you. Goodbye.